Hi, I'm Connie Sokol, a national speaker, best-selling author, program founder, and mother of 7, and loving it. I'm reaching and teaching 1 million listeners to live a purposeful, organized, and joyful life. You can too, so let's go.
If you've ever wanted to set a goal or achieve a goal and you've been like, okay, I just don't have time for this, this is the Facebook Live for you, because Tonya Wirfs, who is our guest today, is all about 5-minute habits and what you can accomplish by doing it that way. It's incredible. So we're so excited to have her today. Tonya, thanks for being with us.
Yay, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
We're so thrilled to share these tips and tools with you ladies, because it is fantastic. What you're able to do and what you're able to accomplish, but also become, is fabulous. So before we get into that, I'm going to give you the official bio, and then we're going to jump right in for how these tips and tools can help you accomplish your dreams and goals 5 minutes at a time. Tonya is a mom of 5, speaker, habits coach, facilitator for the Single Mom KC, mother of influence, and Birth It Forward ambassador. She loves helping moms partner with God to create simple homes of order, peace, and purpose through the power of 5-minute habits. In 10 years, she went from laying on the floor in tears with kids running around her, oh, have so been there, to taking control of her life with God and being consistent and disciplined in her habits. She believes with God, anything is possible. She loves notebooking, watercoloring, reading, yoga, being in nature, and playing games with her family. And Skip-Bo is her favorite. We are so happy to have you on and love to talk about this. Now, how did you stumble into this 5-minute habits? Laying on the floor, crying, kids running over us. We've all been there multiple times, depending on how many kids we have and how many stressors. Tell us how you kind of came about with this. I can do this in 5 minutes.
Yeah, so I think over the years, I started out in that really rough place. And then over time, I realized I want to make something different of my life. I don't want to be here anymore. And one of the things that helped me was starting my own business, like finding this purpose inside of me of something else that I wanted to do. I loved being a mom, but I also felt called to do something more. And so as I kept trying to accomplish things, I would realize it's been in the last year or so that I realized what I was doing and started to actually make progress. Because what I would do is I would say, I want to go here, and I would want to immediately jump there, like opening a puzzle and immediately just flipping it together, right? That doesn't work. You've got to put it together piece by piece. And so I just started realizing, okay, I've got to break things down way smaller. Even though I see where I want to go, I can't get there immediately. I have to make it smaller so that I can do this in my life and wherever I'm at in the moment.
Love that. And did it feel like at first you didn't quite believe that it would help you get there? Because sometimes we look and go, yeah, really, what can I do in 5 minutes? Honestly, what big changes can happen? Did you kind of disbelieve that at first? And then what made that shift for you? What kinds of things did you start seeing yourself do?
Yeah, so it wasn't really that I had the 5-minute habits idea first. It was more that I started doing it. And I started just kind of I remember one morning thinking, okay, I don't have time to sweep my floor, but it's really getting on my nerves and I want my floor swept. And I was like, I'm just going to time myself and see how long it takes me to sweep my floor. And it takes me about 8 minutes to sweep downstairs, my whole downstairs. And so I'm like, okay, I have 8 minutes. So it's a lot of the times it's getting the facts. I also have realized that it is about just trying things out and adding things in that I want to do and just doing that in a short period of time, because it does seem like, well, what can you do in 5 minutes? But a lot of times I'll sit down with a book and I can read a book for 5 minutes and I get a lot out of it. And it's actually better because I'm digesting what I'm reading instead of just rushing through it. Or even I love to paint. And this last month, I'm so happy about this. I've been wanting to watercolor more consistently for a while. And I've started doing it every day. I have my stuff just sitting right here next to me. I have everything ready to go. And so even right before we got on, I was feeling kind of nervous. I was like, okay, I'm just going to paint for a minute. And I did, and it helped me calm down and feel better. So I make things easy to do so that when I want to do it, it's right there and I can just go and do it. And it just really does make a difference.
So genius. We call it chewable chunks, right? Just being able to do it and be satisfied by those chewable chunks, taking a
Yes.
couple of pieces of chocolate rather than I'm going to sit down and have this whole bar, right? I
Mhm.
love that idea of the preparation. You had your stuff sitting there and it makes it more mentally feasible of I can totally take 5 minutes to do it because it's not going to take me 5 minutes to go and try to find everything, pull it out, and then sit down and do it. That's kind of that scrapbooking principle from way back in the day. It's like, I'm not hauling everything out unless I've got 3 hours that I can do
Right.
it. And that's why people didn't do it. I know for
Mhm.
myself, even working out, if I have my weights, I have those click weights that you can do change of things. If I have my weights just sitting right there, then I can just scoot them around and I'm ready to go with my mat. And if I can do that, I've got everything right there, then I'm more likely to actually do it.
Yeah.
Love this. So have you worked? I know you work with lots of different women and you have had clients probably coming to you that are saying, I'm not able to lose weight. I'm not able to get those spiritual habits in that I want. I'm not able to get the financial habits that I want, or I'm not able to get the relationship things in 5 minutes. What are some of those experiences you've had with some of these clients that you've been able to help them take those goals and succeed in those 5 minute habits? Does anything or anyone come to mind?
Yeah, usually what actually I was just talking with someone yesterday. She's a mom, she has her own business and she has a lot going on and little kids. And so what I was doing with her is just she was telling me what's going on in her life and we just break things down and through that I pull out those things that are going to help her like with the foundation, right? I'm always looking for that. What can you add in foundationally, like in the morning or in the evening? And so for her, it was journaling, that she wants to journal. And the last time we talked, that was her goal, and she hadn't been able to get to that until, and by the time we talked yesterday again. And I'm like, okay, that's okay. That doesn't mean you're a failure. It doesn't mean you're doing a bad job. It just means we need to make it even smaller so that you can do it, so that you can keep moving those things forward, so that you can do that one post a week on social media and get consistent in that. So you can move, just get the ball rolling and make it small enough that you can keep it going.
I
And she was like,
love
yeah,
that.
that's what I love when my clients are like, they have that light bulb moment of they're like, okay, I can do that. I want it to feel like a little bit of a stretch, but not so much that they're going to avoid it and not even start.
Yes. And this idea, I love how you said, okay, then let's make it smaller. It's not that the goal is unreachable. It's not that it's not a good goal. It's just make it smaller because our lives are so busy. And I
Mhm.
think just that reassurance to women that this actually will make a difference if you just chunk away at it. It makes me think of the conference talk 1% Better. I think it was Michael A. Dunn that talked about how that bicycling team they kept trying to do these big overhauls and it wasn't working. And I think for women listening, saying, is it working doing these big, huge goals? I'm going to buckle down for the next 12 weeks and really make it happen. Or is it working? If it's not working, then maybe try the smaller way. And when they did that as the cycling team, they had incredible success because of just taking all the systems and just doing 1%. So when you do the 5 minute goals, do you encourage women with the stacking to do 2 or 3 5 minute habits, or do you encourage them to just focus on one and get that solid?
I love that you brought that up because I'm doing a 6-week course, and that's one of the things that I bring up every single time. You want to stack with something you're already doing. So we already have routines, right? We all get up in the morning, we usually eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, we go to bed. So you can stack things along with those things that you're already doing. And start with one thing and then you can add on to that. You can make it bigger. Like my morning routine, it's long now, but there's times where I need it to be small and I need to break that down and I just do less of the same things for 5 minutes or whatever I have time for that morning. What if we're on vacation or it's a weekend, and there's more things going on with family. And so you can, yes. So like once you accomplish one thing and you get strong in that, then you can add something else. Like I've noticed with the women I've worked with, the morning routine is a little bit easier to get going than the evening routine, because at night it's so easy to just be exhausted and then you're like, right?
Yes.
And you, because that's all your brain has the bandwidth for. But eventually that comes, like as that morning routine gets solid, and it takes time. It takes so much longer than we think it will, because like what you were talking about with the British cycling team, like I've done that so many times where I try to go big, go big or go home. That's something we hear a lot in our culture. And it does not work for me. I've tried over and over again, falling flat on my face, and it just doesn't work. So that little, little by little, and then add on as you want to feel successful. That's so important.
Yes.
Like, so many times women just feel like they're going to bed, like they didn't get enough done that day. And I want them to go to bed feeling like, okay, I got enough done today. It was enough, and it could have been more, it could have been less, and we're going to just start again tomorrow instead of that endless to-do list that's
Yes,
ongoing.
absolutely. And there is such a satisfaction of, when we put so much time and energy into one thing in one day, we see as a mom that we're so layered that we have all of these other things. Well, the laundry didn't get done and the yard didn't thing and this didn't get done and the dishes are still to be done because I did this one project of cleaning out the garage or whatever. But when we stick with those 5-minute habits, there is something so satisfying of knowing I did do 5 minutes. I emptied the dishwasher and then I had my kids load, or I swept the front walk. And so we didn't get to the weeding, but that's okay. I swept the front walk and there's something that's been done in those particular areas. So have you found with women, is there some like generally the top topics that they want to accomplish and that find that the 5-minute habits helps them achieve?
Yes, like one of the things that I help women do is like break those bigger things down. So like, let's say you want to clean out your closet, or you have a room that you have a lot of stuff and you need to let go of it. It can be so overwhelming that it's hard to even get started. And so just, helping them see that they can just start with 5 minutes and set the timer, because the hardest thing is stopping, right? Because like you
Yes.
talked about, that we want to have that one day where we just get all the things done. And when we go away from all the other things that need to be done and just do that one thing, then, yeah, we got that one thing done, but then the rest just feels really hard. But one of the things that I've done that is one of my favorites is I cleaned out my closet 5 minutes at a time. And it was hard to stop. I wanted to just finish it, but I was like, no, I'm just going to I'm going to do this 5 minutes at a time. And what I noticed by doing that is that it didn't feel like this huge thing. It didn't feel like I took a whole Saturday to do it. It was just like 5 minutes here over like 2 weeks, and I didn't even do it every day. And then my closet was cleaned out, and I enjoy that space more now. It's not, pulling my energy and feeling yucky. And I'm like, also didn't feel like I spent a bunch of extra time.
I love that. And I think that may be the mindset that we women need to gravitate to, which is normalizing it. Instead of this big push and then a big reward, normalizing it and saying, I did my 5-minute habits in 5 areas today. I'm going to reward myself and I'm going to read for 30 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever, because you saved all that time. You worked on all those areas. And now you have that satisfaction, that peace when your head hits the pillow of, I've done what I've needed to do. And it will be endless and eternal, all that needs to be done. Dishes will always need to be done. Laundry will always need to be done. The yard will always need to be done. But if we just take it in those increments, there is such a satisfaction and a peace, and not feeling you're constantly behind the 8 ball and on this treadmill that never ends, right?
Yes.
Love that. Is there an experience, before we jump to a different question, is there an experience that comes to mind where a woman came to you and sort of that before and after, where maybe she was disbelieving, or maybe she was just so overwhelmed, but then doing these 5-minute habits, she was able to get to that place of peace and satisfaction and feel good and be able to accomplish something that was meaningful to her?
Absolutely. I have someone in mind who when she first came to me, she just felt, very out of sorts, just struggling in a lot of areas in her life and with her family. And through being able to do this, especially that foundation of that morning routine and starting to practice that evening routine, that has really helped her so much, because then you're so much more likely to be able to bring God into the rest of your day. And when we bring God in, when we're exhausted, and we're like, He wants us to have those experiences where we're like, I just can't do this anymore. I need, and a lot of times we tend to push those away. And so I've seen her be able to just keep going and, through slowing down and taking things little by little and focusing on, just these one or two things, that she's been able to create a different family. And it's so beautiful to watch that. I love it. Like that lights me up.
Love that. And I know I'm in your group, your Facebook group of 5-Minute Moms. What's the name of your Facebook group?
5-Minute Habits for Moms.
Yep, 5-Minute Habits for Moms. I want to make sure I got the right name. And if anyone's interested, you can check that out. And I love with the course that you've had, I'm on that group and I see these things coming through of these women saying, I did this and I was able to have, and you can feel the joy and the energy on it. That is just so exciting. Yeah. Now, you came into our Disciple Thought Leadership Circle. This is our mastermind. After you come to retreat, you can choose to join the mastermind that meets weekly. And you had some of these pieces and you were so excited moving forward. Now you've been in for several months and it's so fun to see this countenance that you have and this sort of clarity. Can you tell us maybe one thing that you've learned over the last several months of sometimes women struggle with, I've got some ideas, I've got some things, I feel a rumble, but they don't know if they should move forward. And I've watched how you've been able to take this 5-minute habit concept and how you've been able to elevate it. Is there one way that you found in the last few months that's been really helpful for you in order to do that, to move your message forward?
Absolutely. I feel like, well, first of all, having the support of the women, like that is huge. Like when I wanted to come to the retreat, I was so excited to just be with, women that love the Lord and are trying to move his purposes forward. Like that was so exciting for me. So being with women that are helping me to do that is huge. And you really helped me, Connie, in being able to get more clarity and be able to touch what it is that I'm doing, right? Because before I came in, I was just more focused on self-care and it didn't feel as tangible, but habits feel more tangible. And it's something that I've gotten really good at in the last year and a half. And it's, so it really helped me just put my finger on it. Be able to, I had a lot of the things, but it helped me just put them together and package it. And then the skills that I had gained, through the 5-minute habits, I feel like that's really helped me move forward in a consistent way.
Oh, I love that. And that's so important for women that are listening. If you're feeling a rumble, or if you have a message you want to share, moving forward on that and knowing that sometimes they get so frustrated, right? Of like, it's not getting traction. I don't know what I'm doing wrong or whatever. Sometimes it's just changing that one thing, that one piece, that one element that will make the difference. It's been so fun. I remember at the beginning that you were just like, and kind of in tears and like this is crazy. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm doing and what I'm doing wrong or that needs to be changed. And now it's so fun. You see this confidence, that clear countenance, and I see that the women are being helped and I see how you have really nailed that message and that skill set behind it of being able to help these women get that outcome, get the results that they're looking for. And that's everything. We need the help to be able to improve our quality of life. And that's what you're helping women do. So fun. For women that are out there listening and thinking, oh, I want to be helpful to women. I want to help them move forward. I want to help improve their quality of life. What's one tip that you would love to give them just to wrap this up? What is one thing that you would encourage them to do?
I really don't feel like I can take credit for anything that I'm doing right now. Like for me, it's all God. And so it is all him, and he will give you line upon line, precept upon precept, just a little bit here, a little bit there. So don't expect to get it all at once. You have this rumble, this desire inside of you to move something forward, but let God unfold that to you in the time that is right for you, because he knows his will is what's best for you. So allow him to do that and just trust the process and let him show you just that next step, just that one thing. That's it.
Oh, that's so gorgeous. And I do see that as we embrace that, sit back into that, lean into that, I'm at the right place and God's leading me along and I'll take this next right step. And that's all that's required, right? And I can enjoy that process. I love how you said, trust the process, because I think we get a little antsy and we start comparing and looking at what other people are doing or have done, or they've just gone so crazy with their growth and things. And that is the adversary. we are where we need to be and taking that next right step so he can keep leading us along. Absolutely gorgeous. Tonya, I know there's going to be women who want to connect with you. What's the best way for them to find you?
Yes, absolutely. So the best way to connect with me is at 5-Minute Habits for Moms on Facebook or Instagram. So it's the number 5-Minute Habits for Moms.
Love it. And she will help you move forward on any of your goals 5 minutes at a time. Tonya, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. It was wonderful.
And if you're liking this and you're getting good stuff, check out our other Tuesday Facebook Lives. We have people sharing all kinds of tips and tools that will help you live a more purpose-filled life.